this negative self-thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do every day. I don't know how to handle this
I'm
retirement.
useless. I no longer have a purpose. We hear that from clients all the time. And there's not a worse feeling in the world than having your mind control your thoughts. You know that feeling when your mind is just racing? There's like a million thoughts in your head, not a lot of them positive, and your stress is at an all-time high.
It's almost like your brain has absolutely no more room for any other thought. It completely consumes your thinking.
And left unchecked, you can fall into some real helplessness. And I read somewhere that the voice in your head is like having the worst roommate you could ever have for life. Like you just get frozen, like you don't know what to do. You listen to this voice in your head.
Bad roommate. Have you ever had a roommate like that? Oh, nice. You have one now?
No.
So today we're going to give you 7 ways to reframe negative thinking.
And we all do it.
We do, and we all
do it.
We do it once in a while, and there could be good reasons for it. Meaning, you really screwed up, so you feel bad about something that you did. But the thing is, if you live with that for a day or 3 days or 5 days or 10 days, it's bad, it's unhealthy, and you have to fix it.
But even when you're having a good day or you're doing things that you like, this negative self-talk can creep in and really be damaging. And I've got a little quick story that you were actually involved in.
Okay, what is that, Jody?
So Mark never comes to yoga with me.
Never?
Like legit never. And last weekend he said, hey, I'll go to that class with you and maybe we'll grab a cup of coffee afterwards. And I was really excited because I've been, as you know, dedicated for 9 months, 5, 6, 7 days a week. Like for me, really working hard at it.
For me, I wanted the coffee in that coffee shop. Only way to get it would be to go through yoga.
Right. So we walk into class, and like a lot of great communities, and my yoga class is a great community, you see the same people, sometimes you sit in the same spots, you throw your mat down and little idle chit chat.
You're in exactly the same spot. If anyone ever sat there, I think, well, they won't because they know it's an unwritten rule. How about that?
That's not true. That's not the yoga way.
Well, it's your way.
Anyway, so we walk in and a gentleman behind me who's typically behind me says, good morning. And I introduce Mark to him.
Yeah, George.
Well, his name's Andy. But
Andy.
This lady came in who usually is next to me. And she said to Mark, hey, you're putting your mat next to the hardest worker in the yoga class. She works harder than anybody in this yoga class. And I see her here a lot.
And the accolades continued for a half an hour.
But that's not the point. Is what I heard her say is, I'm not very good at yoga. And maybe I'm not, but I'm not very good at it. But I work really hard at it. Like almost like I reframed that so quickly into something negative.
Why?
That it bothered me that whole class. I was like, I do work really hard at it, actually. But I don't know why I reframed it that she was saying like, this poor lady, she works really hard. She doesn't get any better, but she works hard.
You did tell me that afterwards.
I did.
I'm going to start with 7 ways in which you can get rid of that negative self-talk.
And doing this research actually really helped me.
Did it?
It did.
What's the one thing you learned before we go through the 7?
The one thing that I learned was
that'll help you.
To recognize it quickly.
Okay.
To recognize when it comes in and then let it go out and really hear words for what they are and think about intention, not the translation.
Cool. I like that.
I don't even know if that's one of our 7.
I don't know, but the first one is recognize when you have thought distortions. So your mind, if you don't check it and control it, it's going to convince you of something that's not true, like in the case what happened to you.
Right.
And these inaccurate thoughts manifest and reinforce negative thinking. It's kind of what you said. You thought about it during your whole session.
I did.
Which kind of ruined it.
It did. It didn't help me breathe. It didn't do anything.
Right.
But this thought distortion, there's a lot of really great examples of it.
Right.
So mine was one
Right.
example. But another example would be something like black and white thinking. It's either one way or another, and there's nothing in between.
And that's hard if you
hard.
live that way.
It is hard.
Or personalizing it, where you take the blame for something.
I tend to do that, too.
It's really not your fault.
I tend to do that.
I mean, if you had a phone call with someone last night and something, I don't know, there wasn't an argument or anything, but at one point you thought I probably shouldn't have said that. But you see the person the next day, and you smile, hey, how you doing? And they don't really smile back. Immediately, if you're that kind of person, you're going to own that and say it's up to, it's my fault. But it could be that they're having a bad day. So
Could
you
be.
can't own it.
So that's just another thought distortion that you're talking about. And, you might know people like this that always filter their thinking to choose the negative side of something, like glass is always half empty type of side. Or they always think catastrophically, like the worst thing is going to happen. So those are all different kind
distortions of thinking that you want to work on.
Categories of thought distortion that if you see them, recognize it. Grab your mind back.
The other thing, and this is a big one, the second one, is just challenging when you have negative thoughts. If you have a negative thought, okay, you have it, sit with it for a minute. Understand, is it really true? What are some other possible outcomes? Maybe start thinking that the glass is half full. Or if a friend was telling you this, what would you tell them?
Right.
And then tell yourself.
Right, that's true.
The
third one kind of goes along with that.
Right.
And it's really just taking a break from your negative thoughts.
I like this one when we talked about it.
You do. So you have the negative thought, and this is what I really should have done at the beginning of the yoga class, because there's usually 5 minutes or so where you kind of arrive onto your mat. I should have thought about it, agreed that I was feeling it, and then just let it go. Like step away from it. Think happy thoughts. Move on with my day. Like try to just get it out of my head and really work your mind so it does go out of your head.
Well,
and it's harder than you think.
I will say this because I was there, but the last time I was at yoga was about a year and a half ago before COVID, and we were both learning how to do yoga. Well, you've been there 5 days a week for 9 months. You're a friggin' rock star.
Well, no.
Well, okay. There you go again.
I know.
Oh, no. You are a friggin' rock star.
I'm a lot better than I was.
A lot better? You're friggin' amazing.
But you believe yoga is something to accomplish. It's a practice. You just practice it forever.
I believe yoga is really hard for me, and it's hard for you, but you're really good at it. That's
and this
what I
isn't
believe.
About yoga. It's about negative self-talk.
So the fourth way to combat negative self-talk is to release judgment. It's judging other people or judging yourself is tough.
And it's common.
It is common, but it doesn't help. It doesn't get you where you need to go. So you want to, when you start to judge yourself or a friend, release it. Release it from you or release it from your friend. Think of something positive about yourself instead or about your friend, and it will slowly go away. And it's a practice. All of this stuff is practice. Doesn't happen like that. Right. But you need to work on it. You have to do it again and again and again.
And honestly, a lot of these principles are meditative, right?
Yeah.
Letting things go, acknowledging a thought, that type of thing. And even this one, the fifth one, is practicing gratitude. And you all know that we are big fans of gratitude in our house and certainly in our life. But there is science behind living a grateful life, that it helps you with positivity and it actually makes you happier. And even in the worst of times, you can look for something to be grateful for.
Even the smallest thing. If you follow us on social media, on most Mondays, I say, what's one thing you're grateful for? I don't really need to know, but I want you to think of something you're grateful for.
Acknowledge it.
In my morning journaling, I always write 3 things I'm grateful for, and the first one is always Jody, every single day. And I don't just put Jody down, I put something specific about Jody that I'm grateful for. And that really helps bulletproof our relationship. I mean, I am so grateful for you in so many ways, and I love that I can write that, something fresh and new every day.
I like to read those once in a while.
Your book's wide open, it's right over there.
The sixth way that you can combat negative thinking is to really focus on your strengths. And you probably heard that in your career. But it is human nature to focus on the negative, and it takes effort to change the way you're thinking. Sometimes you have to sit down and think, like, what are the 3 things that I'm the best at? And write a daily affirmation like you do.
Part of my journaling is...
He's really good at daily affirmations.
What does that mean?
No, that means it's a good thing.
Oh, because I'm easy to say something positive about myself? Because there's a lot there?
There's a lot there.
It's not what she meant. But it helps. I'm a good husband. I'm a good father. If you've been following us for a while, I talk about this. It just helps you feel better about yourself to write something every day
That's okay.
about yourself that's positive. And the last part of this, don't be so hard on yourself. I mean, sometimes we find ourselves being critical of our videos or our work or whatever it might be. You don't have to be.
And the seventh thing to do is, if you can't get out of it and that negative self-talk just continues to badger you, get professional help.
Yeah.
There is a lot of professional help out there, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. We both get help all the time.
Yeah, we do.
And counseling can certainly get you through a lot.
You know, if you have an illness or illness in the family or divorce or a lost job, or how about in retirement?
Right.
Get some help in retirement, because, you know, this negative self-thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do every day. I don't know how to handle this retirement.
Useless. I no longer have a purpose. We hear that from clients all the time. And there's not a worse feeling in the world than having your mind control your thoughts.
So these 7 strategies are going to help you. I'll throw in the 8th, because for me this is so important, is meditating, mindfulness. It really works on all of this. But try these 7 the next time your mind is a little bit out of control and you're thinking some negative thoughts.
And it definitely takes effort, but it's worth it. And listen, if you've enjoyed this, please share with your friends, and also subscribe by clicking the button below.
And don't forget to join our Facebook community.
It's
the link
big.
is below. It's getting really big, and we go live every Tuesday for half an hour and take questions. It's really a lot of fun for us. So thanks for listening, and we look forward to being with you again soon.